This is a
Squad.
That ball is belted. Welcome in Carlos Gomez. Hello. Goodbye.
Ay, 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 ay.
Down the middle. Butler makes a move.
Oh man, yeah. We rocking now for real. Yeah. BS3 Sports. Okay, sports news, get it first when you're getting off of work. Even when you're at work, acting like you're working hard when you're hardly working. I'm a maverick like Dirk, getting Franklin's like Kirk. Hold up, boy. X-Squad, you don't know them boys? Being talking facts on every topic. Overall, we just talking noise, just being boys. Covering Texas sports in them tall hills. That with the fake pass over to Elliott. Better guard your grills like a car for real. Yeah, Cowboys gonna bring a bowl back, Lord willing. Yeah, Mavericks gonna bring a ring back with Mark in it. We live sports, we talk sports, we dream sports, we eat sports. The teacher about to teach the course. Welcome to BS3 Sports. Ay, 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 ay. Gross. Oh man, yeah.
Welcome to the Weekend Wrap-Up Show, episode 133. The Kawhi Sweepstakes begin. Kawhi opting out of his $21.3 million option. Shout out to Kawhi. Go get your money. There will be multiple teams that'll be salivating at the mouth to try to get him. Predicting maybe going to LA. Clippers, not Lakers. So we'll see what happens. We got a great show, action-packed. We got a full hour. We'll be taking calls the entire show. Shout out to Miss Mocha Bella in the building first. Shout out to H-Rap B in the building. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in live and those that are tuning in after the show is over. Much love, much appreciation. X-Squad Radio, which this show is on. Also, my fam over at the No Phony Podcast Network. Appreciate their support as well. Also, the show is and will be heard on Rapture Ready Radio, which is on Live 365. So wherever you're listening, much appreciated, much love. H-Rap coming in the building saying Bulls are going to the NBA Finals. We'll see. We'll see, H-Rap. White Sox are going to the World Series. We'll see. We'll see about that. But support your teams. 100% support your teams. I give you love and respect for that. Support your teams. All right, so phone lines are open the entire show, 469-351-0881. Just keep it short and sweet because we do have 1 hour, limited amount of time. But I do want to get your opinions and your thoughts on whatever happened from this weekend. Shout out to Ced Galloway. So let's get into the Kawhi. Shout out to Mo Cheese. Thank you for tuning in. Kawhi Leonard, champion, MVP of the NBA Finals, declined his option, seriously considering re-signing with the Raptors. So on today's show, let me back up. We'll be talking about NBA awards tonight. We'll be going down each award and talking about who's going to win, giving my prediction on who I think's going to win. We'll talk about Kawhi opting out, the BET Awards, also other sports news from the week, and the Benny Awards at the end of the show. Shout out to JB Jennings. Also, we're going to talk about, I seen it this weekend, When They See Us. So I'll get to my thoughts and opinions on that. That was hard to watch from the first episode. The last episode was also very difficult to watch, so I'll be talking about that as well on the show. All right, so Kawhi opts out. He declines his option. I think it's great. I think you need to go out there and capitalize on your value. Capitalize on what you've been able to do in 1 year that no other Raptor team or player has been able to achieve. So go out there and get what you can get. Shout out to Tiffany Sports and Hills. Thank you for tuning in. And Kawhi deserves every penny, every single penny that he gets. He 100% deserves it. There's not very many players that can step in the door and dramatically improve your team. And in 1 year, you win the NBA championship. A-Trap throwing stuff out there, but he doesn't say what year it will be. That's true. Great point, Sid. If you speak it into existence, it may happen. So I applaud you, A-Trap. Put it out there. Put it out there in the atmosphere, and it may come around back to you. So, there's already billboards in LA of trying to get Kawhi to come to the Clippers. They got 2 billboards already. He just said he was opting out yesterday. I don't know how long the billboards have been up. Maybe Sid Galloway in the chat room right now, you can give us some insight on how long the billboards have been up. But they're going to do everything in their power to get him to come. And I think he would actually be great. I think he would actually be great with the Clippers. Now, they're a team that I believe could probably sign 2 to 3 max players. And I'm very, very interested to see how this whole thing pans out. Shout out to Big L in the building. Thank you for tuning in. But Kawhi deserves it. Every penny that Kawhi gets, he deserves it. And he what he's done, like I said, in a limited amount of time, not very many people can say that they've done that. And that's small amount of time. So shout out to Kawhi, do your thing. Reports coming out that CP3 denies demanding a trade. I'll be in Houston. I'm happy about that, is what he says. And I don't know what's true and what's false with this whole thing. I really don't know. As much as I want to say, as much as anyone wants to say they know what the Rockets are going to do, nobody really knows. At the end of the day, it all comes down to, though, who would be willing to take on that contract? Who would be willing to take on that massive contract, shout out to Raider Kev, of CP3? And honestly, I don't think anyone's going to be willing to take that on. Unless you're just a team where you have money laying around and you got nothing else really to look forward to, and you're willing to put that money in, because that's a lot of dough. That's not chump change we're talking about. That's a lot of dough. Phone lines are open for the show. We got an action-packed show, 469-351-0881. Call in, give me your quick thoughts on how you feel about from the weekend or whatever is on your mind. Let's get into these NBA awards. NBA award show tonight. NBA awards tonight. I believe Charles Barkley, is hosting it. CP3 ain't playing a whole year injury-free in a long time. Facts. That is straight up facts right there. He has not. And that has to be a factor in anyone doing anything with him. Shout out to Kev, Clutch Talk Sports in the building. Thank you for tuning in. Ain't nobody just got $40 million laying around for the next 3 years. 100% correct. 100% correct. That's a lot of money. And people don't have money like that laying around. Even professional sports teams don't have money like that laying around. Especially for a guy who's had some great years. He really has. Really has had some great years. And Kevin, Clutch Talk Sports, will be back today at 3 p.m. Central, 4 Eastern on Sports Radio America. Make sure to tune in. How many times will we have to cover our faces based off something Chuck says tonight? A lot of times. And a couple of times you're probably not even going to understand what he's saying. Because that's Charles Barkley. That's Charles Barkley. A lot of people love him. A lot of people hate him. Some people in the middle. Shaq is actually hosting the awards tonight. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Kev. Thank you for putting that in there. For some reason, I thought it was Charles Barkley, but obviously I was on the wrong end of that. But it should be interesting regardless. Should be interesting regardless. So let's get right into it. MVP. I want everybody listening to put in the chat room who's winning the MVP. Giannis, Antetokounmpo, Paul George, James Harden. I'm sticking with who I said throughout most of the season, and that's James Harden. I think James Harden is going to be a back-to-back MVP winner. Look at the amount of 50-point games he's had. I understand everyone's point, or some people's point, that he's not as valuable to the team as Giannis is. Shout out to Courtney. He said, "What's up, everyone listening, watching U.S. Women's World Cup at work. That's a big event going down today. Shout out to the women. I think they're definitely going to get this win. We got the Greek Freak in here heavy. And I think he can win it. But I strongly believe that this is an award that James Harden should win. I think Giannis, if you look at most valuable player and what that term means, Giannis is more valuable to that team. But if you flip it on the other side, if you take Harden off of that team, off the Rockets, how great are they going to be with a most of the time hobbled CP3? And in the NBA, most valuable player is not really what it's termed as. Most valuable player is the guy with the best stats. That's what it comes down to. It comes down to the guy with the best stats. It doesn't come down to the guy that's truly the most valuable to his team. It's the guy with the best stats. So I'm going with Harden. I would be happy if Giannis won, but I'm going with Harden because I think that's who I truly believe is going to win. We will find out tonight. NBA Rookie of the Year. This one's very easy to me. I don't know what you guys think. And I'm not being biased at all. I'm just stating the facts. DeAndre Ayton. And we got a caller up on the line. What's going on? You're called into the weekend wrap-up show. What's your name and what you want to talk about?
Give it to James Harden just because of what he went through. You know, the Greek Freak, he didn't have too much turmoil in his locker room and things of that nature. No, not many injuries or whatever. You got Chris Paul's injured, Capello's injured. They had the debacle that they called the Carmelo Anthony experiment at the beginning of the year. And then he went on to have 52, 30-plus games, about 4 or 5 50-point games, 2 50-point triple-doubles. And, I mean, as you just stated, if it's a stat-driven award, his stats are better. Shut up and listen to your response.
Thank you.
All right, bro.
All right, appreciate you, H-Rap, for calling in. Much love, H-Rap B, coming on Tuesdays and Saturdays on X Squad Radio. Had a great show Saturday. I'm 100% in agreement with him. But BS3, your boy, will most likely win it. Thank you. Thank you, Mo Cheese, for being honest. Thank you. Because Doncic is going to win this, okay? Hands down. As we're talking about NBA Rookie of the Year. And in response to H-Rap,